about the combine. There's some free agency stuff going on. Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson. There's been a lot of talk. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of talk. Maybe those two guys end up being Jets. Who knows? So call in 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. We're going to connect the audio in just a second, folks. Again, 515-602-9639. I hope everyone's having a good day. We're about to get fired up and talk about the team. So give me 1 second. I'm going to connect the audio and get right to it, folks. Hold on.
Blog Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Joe, and I'm back at it again. I'm back at it again. You know what I'm saying? It is time to talk Jets, and boy, do we have quite a bit to talk about today. Man, we're going to be talking about the Jets cornerback position. We're going to be talking about a lot of rumors that's swirling now. There's guys that supposedly might be out there. Amari Cooper. A lot of people also talking about Allen Robinson to the Jets. The combine is well going on. We have some standout guys from the combine that really put on today. And we got Mekhi Becton in the gym. A lot of negative comments from Jets fans. So we're going to be discussing quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. But let me go ahead and start the show. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Listen, your boy's on iTunes as well. You know what I'm saying? Your boy's on iTunes. Listen, if you go on iTunes, search The Long Beach Joe Show, okay? Subscribe to that podcast on iTunes and leave your boy some feedback. You know what I'm saying? Leave me some feedback. I love hearing about, what you guys think I'm doing here. Salutes to everybody that's done that. Give me a 5-star rating if you can as well. That's greatly appreciated. Also, for those of you that may not know, while we do the show live here on Blog Talk Radio, salutes to everybody that listens from Blog Talk as well. But guess what? We're doing the show live via YouTube as well. We're streaming while it's going on. Come on over to the YouTube channel. Search Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Long Beach Joe Jets. Go to that page. Subscribe there. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all be in the know. You know what I'm saying? You want to see this handsome face? That's where I'm at. I got a voice for radio, and I have a face. You know what I'm saying? Built to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You want to see me, go ahead, go there. We have a lot of fun on the channel as well. We talk about the team. We talk about the Jets. And we absolutely, we play games too. We do all kinds of great things over there. But we definitely have our shows, and we have a lot of fun. Salutes to all the savages in the chat as well. Brian Seal, good to see you in here, Brian. You know what I'm saying? All the guys, everybody that just comes on by and says what's up. Salutes to all of y'all. So, go ahead and do that. So, now it's time to get into it. We're going to get to everything. Salutes to all the callers as well. Please be patient. We'll get to everybody tonight, but we got to discuss some things, okay? Because boy, oh boy, has some things happen, all right? First off, we're looking at the combine that was coming up, and the first thing that kind of came out was that Saleh was not going to go to the combine. Now, there was a lot of Jets fans that immediately came out and said, hey, Saleh's not at the combine. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? He came out and he said during his press conferences, listen, I know, people are saying these things, people are saying that, but he and some of the people on his staff as well decided not to go because they felt like they could use their time more efficiently for their off-season prep. You know what I'm saying? They could use the time at home and just kind of take care of stuff. They didn't want to throw that off. And a lot of Jets fans, a lot of people, some people, you know what I'm saying, writing constantly going, hey, well, what about the interviews and all that? And he answered that as well. He said, hey, the in-person stuff I'm going to miss clearly because he's not going to be there, but he can still do the virtual stuff. And a lot of the players, and this is something that we talked about, the value of being at the Senior Bowl, the value of that was they talked to a lot of players already. He's already had a lot of discussions with a lot of these players that they're looking at, that they're constantly looking at to take, that they were kind of studying before, just doing tape. And then they got to sit down with a lot of these guys and talk to them at the Senior Bowl. So he's talked to a lot of these players. He's had discussions with a lot of these dudes that he thinks he's going to be able to take and coach up here. So he's also going to continue, again, when they have the interviewing process once again, during this process of the combine and doing all this stuff, he's going to get involved in that as well. So to me, it was a lot of dust up from some fans, but I understood it a little bit. But at the end of the day, again, they've already kind of gone through their processes. The general manager, Joe Douglas, and all the guys that he's got to, take over there are there. They're looking at guys constantly. I didn't think it was that big of a deal at all. So I just wanted to step out there and put that to bed. Then there's a lot of reports as well that the New York Jets are going to pick up Quinnen Williams' fifth-year option. Talked about that too. Listen, Quinnen Williams, this guy is ascending. Has he lived up to being the third overall pick in the draft? Not yet. He hasn't done that yet, but we've seen a lot of great things out of him. I think this year he had 53 tackles, 6 sacks. He's put on. This is a guy that's continuing to get better, but he needs to become more of a monster. And he's even talked about it himself, stepping up and becoming better at what he does, understanding that he needs to be the type of player, right, where he can make the game bend to his will. Again, there was a lot of comparisons to when he came out of school to Aaron Donald. Listen, that's what Aaron Donald does. He's out there on the field, he takes over. And Quinnen Williams has also talked about that as well, wanting to become more of that player. Now, with them, according to reports yet again, and Joe Douglas also came out and, lended credence to the reports too, that they were going to pick up Quinnen Williams' fifth-year option. What that does for the New York Jets is it allows us to keep him throughout 2023. Okay, so he's going to be here until then, but also the money as well. I think it, lets his contract up to about 10 million. I think it was like 10.2, something like that. Now, there's a lot of different things that could change that as well. Playing time, Pro Bowling, if he makes a Pro Bowl, there's all kind of things that can change how much money the New York Jets actually, will end up giving him. But guess what? If he does ascend to that level and we only end up giving up 10 mil or maybe in the range 10 or $11 million, that's, that's all right for a guy that's really playing like that and still to have all the, still to have the time with him here on this team. So this was a solid move by the Jets. They're going to continue to evaluate him. I think Quinnen Williams is definitely going to step into it this upcoming season and really put some things together. I really want to see him take that next step forward. I want to see him, so also be healthy because he did have to deal with that foot injury as well coming into the season. We also saw him have that shoulder injury too that kind of he had to deal with a couple times. But as long as Quinnen is progressing and getting better, man, this is a guy that's been a force for us. When he's out there, we've seen it. Paired again, we're still trying to build up our defensive line, trying to change some things up. So if Quinnen continues to take steps forward, that's going to be huge for us. Then when you look at the New York Jets defense, I think one of the things that we all kind of see is this cornerback position. This cornerback position is something to talk about, all right? Listen, Bryce Hall, to me, this kid has shown up and shown out for us this year. Shown up and shown out. We've seen him play so well for us. I'm talking about covering the team's best wide receivers game in and game out, and he's out there doing it. This was a kid that wasn't expected a lot from him. We drafted him a little bit. We drafted him late. Joe Douglas did that, took him. And boy, he's came in and really been able to put on. And I'm excited about him, man. This is a kid that, again, a young corner, 24-year-old guy that's continuing to get better within the system. And I think he's going to be huge for us going forward within Saleh's defense. Now, he did have some bumps and some bruises where, earlier on in his career, we were like, he kind of got beat here and there by veteran guys. I remember there was a game where we played the Chargers, and Keenan Allen was like, listen, this kid Bryce Hall, he's good. He's just young. He's good and he's young. But, again, we've seen him progress. And now I can't wait for him, again, to be a guy that we watch next season really step into the role yet again and be able to put it down as a corner. We saw him play extremely well this year too, definitely in spots. That big win against the Bengals, he was the guy that was matched up with the Bengals' top wide receiver. He was the guy that was going out there, putting the clamps on Jamar Chase. And again, Jamar Chase was going off all that time. When he came up against, Bryce, he played solidly. They didn't shut him down for 10 yards or nothing like that, but he definitely slowed him down because, again, Jamar was eating the league up. We ended up taking that game because of the secondary play, because of how well that Bryce was playing in that football game. Another guy as well in the secondary that's really popped and shown us something too is Brandon Eckles. Brandon Eckles has really shown up for us in that number 2 spot. There was a lot of question marks about this secondary coming into this season. There was a lot of people going, the weakness of the defense is the secondary. We don't really know if they can do things. Again, there was a lot of question marks about Hall and Eckles coming in because of the youth on this secondary. There was a lot of questions about Eckles especially. And Eckles, again, at times we saw him come in. Again, he's a guy that was raw. We knew that he was a little bit raw as far as, skill-wise. But, man, the athletic ability, how he continued to show again throughout the season that he was willing to fight, compete. He had some big plays during the season, too. He had an interception, big interceptions in spots. This kid is, I'm telling you, this young secondary led by those 2 guys, very exciting this year. Now, Eckles did get nicked up from time to time. He's got to kind of clean that up as well next season. But he's a guy as well that I'm excited about that number 2 spot. I really am. Another guy as well in the secondary that I think played extremely well for us last season, extremely well, Michael Carter II. Whoa! You want to talk about a guy that has stepped into that slot role and taken over. Man, this kid was phenomenal. His coverage was amazing. I'm talking about he was playing as well as damn near any corner in the league, any slot corner in the league. It was unbelievable how well he played for us last season. And I'm serious. He's another guy that I cannot wait to see what he continues to give us going down the line. I remember for years the New York Jets had issues trying to shore up that slot spot. We would have a veteran guy come in for a year or two, but we couldn't depend on a lot of guys to stick around with us. And I think Michael Carter II has solved that issue. He truly has. This kid played phenomenal for us last year. There's a lot of questions as well. I know some people want to definitely continue to address the cornerback spot in free agency. There's definitely some guys that could be out there. J.C. Jackson is one of them. I hear a lot of people screaming for him. J.C. Jackson from New England. This kid he's a good corner, really good corner. But the question starts to be, and I'm going to ask these questions tonight. Let me tell you. Salutes to all the callers. We'll get to you in a second. How much are you willing to give up to get that big corner in free agency? Because JC, I'm telling you, he's going to be looking for $18 million per. That's probably going to be just the starting point. Are you willing to give that up if you're the Jets general manager? I want to hear from Jets fans tonight if they're willing to do that. Because that's definitely what he's going to be asking for. And again, we all know, we've seen this before when we go into free agency and we're trying to attack impact positions and we're searching for a corner. We've seen before how that bidding war can take over and can happen. That's going to be a big question. Another big question as well is going to be, hey, are you willing to go into free agency, get into that bidding war, and do what it takes to win? That's the big question there. Also, again, we've been burned in the past as well in that bidding war. We've been burned. I know J.C. Jackson and Jermaine Johnson aren't the same player. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we've been burned in the past. Do you want to go back into that scrum? Do you want to go back into free agency and swing for that big corner? So there's a lot of questions there. There's other corners there as well. Carlton Davis, he's a guy that could be out there from the Bucs. We'll see if the Bucs franchise tag him or not. See what happens with that going forward. But I'm telling you, there's a lot to talk about. Then when you look at the draft too, there's some guys in the draft that we could end up taking as well. Sauce Gardner probably being the number one guy, I think, on most people's boards. Got kid out of Cincinnati. Whoa. I don't think he's allowed a touchdown in his entire collegiate career. I think he started since he was a freshman. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. You also got some Jets fans that want to take Stingley as well from LSU. Let me tell you something. I like him, but there's some questions, particularly about that foot. You get a foot injury as a corner, and it continues to linger on. That could really hurt your career. So we're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. I want to hear from y'all. Lines are hot. First, we're going to my guy, Monty. Monty, we're coming directly to you. We're going to start off hot. We're going to start off hot. We already know me and Monty about to get into it.
What's happening? Hey, security let me in, man. They pulled out the red carpet for you, boy.
Oh, no. You heard nothing at first, right? Because that's the silent alarm. That's my silent alarm. You see, I turned up the panel for you. Okay? That's the panel in my room. That's the silent alarm because you think you got in, but you didn't. Yeah. You think you got in easily, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, salutes to you, Monty.
Okay.
Good to hear from you yet again. Listen.
What's going on with you, man? How you been?
I've been all right. But I tell you what, things are heating up with the New York Jets, right? We got a lot of stuff going on. I want to start with the cornerback position with you. When you look at this New York Jets current cornerback position depth, right? What are your thoughts about Bryce Hall? What are your thoughts about him? Do you feel like he's a legitimate number one corner?
I think the dude has talent. I think he has talent. He's big. He's physical, and I feel like he fits perfectly in that Rob Saleh scheme because that's what they're mostly like. He likes big physical corners, and it's mostly a zone concept. So if you're looking for somebody like that, not really too much into, I don't really see him as a man-to-man corner as much. I see him really thriving as a more so like a, zone corner. I think he's perfect. And he has a lot of upside as well. I just want to see him to continue to grow. And, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be all right. I like Bryce Hall, man. He's good.
Yeah, he is. Now, you look at the other side as well. One guy that I was really surprised by was the performance of Brandon Eckles at times. I thought that he really stepped up, played well for us. He had some big interceptions this year. Do you feel confident in him remaining the number 2 corner as we continue to go forward? Do you feel like the pairing of Hall and Eckles is what we should do going forward?
Do I feel confident? No. But does he have potential? Yes. And I think this is the first time that I've actually been confident in some guys that they can actually grow into the player that I want them to be. I think Eckles can be a high level player, but like I said before, Joe, like they just have to consistently do it. I feel like the talent is there, but can they prove on a week to week basis that you can count on them? And I just don't know. I don't know about Eckles yet. I don't know if we can fully count on him yet, but I see the talent. I see the talent. I think he was a good pick. So, I just want them to see, this next year, I just want to see them, be the players that we think that they can be week to week. And, that's what really, changed the bad players to the good players to the great players. Consistency, man. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think I understand your take there because, again, we've seen Eckles also deal with injuries as well, getting nicked up, missing games here and there, or making big plays in games and then missing the second half or missing critical drives and stuff like that because he's been nicked up. So I understand what you're saying there because I want to see him be a little bit more healthy so he can be out there on the field and make those plays. So I get the questions about the confidence about him going forward.
It feels good. It feels good actually having guys that we can possibly believe in. It's been a long time. As anybody, I've been super hard on Joe Douglas.
Yes,
to the fact me and you got into many arguments about it. But I'm finally starting to see some of the players really blossom. But this year is going to be a critical year for Joe Douglas and these players because if they don't take that next leap, I feel like the foundation is there. We've got enough players, but they just have to take that leap and continue to grow and don't regress. Don't be like Denzel Mims and just, okay, we see promise, we see this talent, and then the next year comes out, we don't see you on the field. We can't have that from any of the players. The foundation is set. Now we have to go to we have to go to free agency and build a little bit more on top of that.
Yep.
And man, I feel like we should be straight, man.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about free agency, because that's where I wanted to go with you, dude, if you're looking at this defense right now, you're going in free agency. Are you swinging big for big name corners like J.C. Jackson and some of the other guys that's going to be out there? Are you swinging big? Let's stick to J.C. Are you swinging big for J.C. Jackson? Would you be willing to give him $18 million per?
No, because he doesn't fit the scheme. He doesn't fit the scheme in which Saleh wants to do. So I wouldn't personally. I think he's a hell of a player, but if you're just gonna just give him money just to bring him here, then go ahead. He's a player, but I don't think he's gonna thrive here. We don't have the scheme that fits what he does and have him produce at that high level. So I would say, me personally, I would say no. It's a little rich for my blood. I would more so want to go with like Carlton Davis. Yep. I think he fits Rob Saleh's scheme. I would try to, if they don't franchise him, I would try to go after a player like that.
Okay. Yeah, and I talked about him earlier in the show as well. I think the Bucks might end up using that tag, but if they do let him hit free agency, let me tell you something. He's definitely going to be a guy that a lot of teams are going to go after. Now, as you continue to look at free agency,
you have to line up and get him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's the big thing about me is when you talk about pass rushers, when you talk about corners, you talk about those kind of positions, those guys get paid in free agency. And it just seems like a lot of the times, not all the time with corners, but especially a lot of the times with corners, those guys get paid and then they go to those other teams and things just never kind of, lead to much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
But you know why? But you know why though, Joe? Like they try to, the Jets always get into this position where they try to win the headline.
Yep.
They don't really get into, okay, how can we find the right player to build the team? Just like we got into it with Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, we signed him, but was the team ready for Le'Veon Bell? No. We didn't do anything that Le'Veon Bell was good at. We didn't have a good offensive line, so why sign him? The only reason they did it was, we got to win headlines. Okay? So I think the Jets, it's not really about, it's not about the money as much. It's about knowing your coaching staff and knowing the players you're going to need and going out and getting them. And if you feel like there's a player out there who really fits your scheme that could take you to the next level, then go and get him.
Yeah.
By all means. But I'm not about names. I'm more so about can this player help us win? And if they can do that, if Joe Douglas can do that, then that's fine. And I hope he doesn't, once he finds that player, he doesn't become this cheapskate.
Yeah. I mean, guys are going to want to get paid. But I think that's the thing that's going to change, I would say, this year from last year. I think Joe Douglas understands where the team is. And I think at this point, he understands he's going to have to spend a little bit because of the spot that we're in, especially if he wants to protect Zach Wilson properly. Look, you can utilize your picks on the offensive line. That's fine. But then after that, it's like, okay, there's still some spots. So we're not going to be able to draft every single position that we need here, right? Because we still need so much. So it's like you're going to have to utilize free agency. But the big thing is utilizing free agency correctly. And I think that's what, again, I'm not accusing Joe Douglas of this. I think he's brought in some guys that have done well. But we've seen in the past, right, where, like you just said, we've seen guys get signed here by Mike McCagnon that just ate up our cap and things never worked out. You've got to find the value in free agency. When you're signing guys and bringing in, they have to come in and be able to play well for the type of money that you're bringing in and not just bringing a name.
Exactly, Joe. And don't you think it's just total opposite? Like we have like Mike Tannenbaum and we had Mike McCagnon, and they would just try to look for the big name.
Yep.
And now we got Joe Douglas, and he's just like, looking in the dumpster. He's like priding himself off of, oh no, I'm not paying these guys.
Yep.
Like it's so funny, like the opposites of the GMs that we have.
Yeah.
So hopefully Joe can get it right, man. I've been hard on him. in the past, like, but, he has to, this is going to be a critical year, man.
Yeah. So when you look at him, and again, they're there at the draft, there's a lot of guys performing well.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Olave has just shot up boards, running that 4.3. I think he ran a 4.26 unofficial.
I'm a Ohio State guy.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm a Ohio State guy. Hey, Joe, what do these guys see in this Drake London guy? Like,
here we go, man.
What is it about him?
Here we go.
I don't understand the hype behind this kid. Like, if you
that?
don't take Olave and Garrett Wilson, come on, man. That's not even close.
Come on.
Did you watch any Ohio State games last year?
No, I like to actually watch good football, so I'm not interested in that. That's why I watch USC. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for all that.
I guess you don't watch any.
We ain't got
USC
time for you.
Football.
We ain't got time.
But I know you were you probably saw the Rose Bowl game though, didn't you?
Of course we watch you. All right, you guys were balling. We get it, okay? But don't disrespect Drake London. Drake London is a damn good wide receiver. He'll go up and get the football. Stop saying that he doesn't get separation. That is a lie. This is a guy that can play great football in the NFL. Let's just stop, man. Come on, man. Go ahead, Monty. Disrespect.
That's why I wanted to ask you. You watch way more USC football than me.
Yeah.
So, I just saw him just shoot up the draft board.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this kid? I don't watch too much USC football.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why is this dude even considered being taken over Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave?
Yeah, when you look at a lot of his comparisons, and I knew just watching him this season, I knew a lot of his comparisons were going to be, and people, Mike Evans, and big guy, go up and get the football. He's a solid route runner. Of course, he could get better at the next level. That's everybody, right? Like, everybody tries to act like,
right.
Come on. Like, everybody, I don't give a damn who you are. When you get to the next level, of course, you're going to work on that stuff, right? But let me tell you, big guy, go up and get the football, solid hands. He's a solid route runner. A lot of people say he's slow, but he's not slow. He can move and he can get separation. So that's the big thing about him. I'm telling you, if he gets into
he's not 4.2. Yeah, he's not 4.2 speed.
No, he's not 4.2. No, he's not
4.3.
No, he's not a 4.2 guy, but he's not a slow guy. Listen, you put them pads on, you watch him during the season at SC, he's going to be fine at this level. As long as he gets to, the right offense that can utilize him, dude, he's going to be big, especially in the red zone. Especially.
You want him here?
Dude, I'd take him at 10. I already said it. If we hold on,
my God,
if we shore up, if we shore up a lot of things that's wrong with this football team, I'm not taking him over an offensive lineman. I wouldn't take him over Tyler Linderbaum. I wouldn't take him if we have a lot of these issues. But if we shore up a lot of issues in free agency and we go into the draft with some holes, particularly if we're talking about wide receiver, there's a lot of people that want to address wide receiver still. I wouldn't bat an eye if we took him at 10. I would not bat an eye if we took him at 10. Drake London is good. He's that good. And I know a lot of people just want to disrespect him simply because everybody wants to hate on USC. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But let me tell you something. He's a damn good player.
It's about, you want speed.
Dude.
He's
not dirt slow. He's not dirt slow, Monty. He's not. He's not dirt slow. He's not. He can move.
But I'm just saying, speed kills at that next level. Like, if you look at the championship teams, they just have a lot of speed, and you got to get fast at that position. Like, Elijah Moore is cool, he's fast, but you have to be fast at all. You have to have mismatches, and I feel like a dude like Garrett Wilson who can also catch, he gets yards after the catch as well, and he's a deep threat, and he can run the full route tree. I feel like that that beats out a big body who can box out.
That's not all he does, though. He can move. Like I said, the comparisons, Mike Evans, Mike Williams as well, those are very accurate. Those are very kind of accurate, I guess, comparisons, even though I can't stand when, you compare those guys to guys that's really just going crazy, especially Mike Evans. But
what was his 40 time?
I don't know I don't remember what his 40 time is, but he can move. Like, I don't remember what he was running, especially during the season. But he's not, when you watch him on tape, he's not a slow guy, dude. He's not slow at all. I know people just want to say that, but he's not.
Okay.
So my last question before I let you go, man, because we're getting heated up. I got quite a bit of callers. Amari Cooper, his name's being thrown around now, right? Amari Cooper's name's being thrown around. You got Allen Robinson being thrown around as well. A lot of people already saying that Allen Robinson is going to be a Jet. If you have to pick one of those guys Who are you taking, man, in free agency?
If I had to,
If you have to, come on. I need
I
a
would
hot take.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't take either one of them. To be honest, but
Okay.
if I had to take one of them, I would go with Allen Robinson.
Okay.
Allen Robinson is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a dog. You know, and he's proven that he can play with bad quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, Amari Cooper's been playing with Dak. He had CeeDee Lamb on the other side. He's also had Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he still hasn't really been able to take it to that next level. So I've seen Allen Robinson play with Blake Bortles before and play with Mitch Trubisky before, and you know, he's produced. So I mean, I would have to go with Allen Robinson, but I don't know. Allen Robinson is probably a defeated man at this point, playing with all these quarterbacks, man.
Listen. So you're not. So
he
the
probably
drop
doesn't
off.
want to play football anymore for real.
So the drop off, the bad season last season, that wouldn't scare you necessarily away from him if you had to pick between the two, because that's what a lot of people are going on.
No. It doesn't scare me. He was playing, you know, Justin Fields. I mean, you know, at this point, he was really, really raw, you know, and I don't think it was an indictment on Allen Robinson. I just think it was more of an indictment of the coaching staff of the Chicago Bears. They just didn't put the players in position to be able to succeed, and when you don't do that, you know, you're gonna have a season like Allen Robinson has had last year. So I still, when I watched the games, he was getting a lot of separation, and he was freaking dudes, but he just wasn't able to get the ball, you know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen that. I remember when Trubisky was there, and I watched a couple games where Allen Robinson was open on like 4 plays in a row, and Trubisky either threw an interception or threw it into the dirt. And then you see them move forward. And again, I like Fields a lot, but again, I thought he suffered. Yeah, I thought he suffered this year again in that role within the offense and just having a young quarterback out there. So I hear you. I take him as well. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of love for Amari Cooper out there, and I think he's good as well. So, but listen, Vontae, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in tonight.
Shout out to you, Joe. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. You the best on here, man. And I just want to, anytime I can get on and show love, like my schedules is all over the place now, so you know I don't get to check in with you like I normally do. But man, just keep doing your thing, man, and I'm always gonna support you, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Monty. Salutes, man. Salutes. Yeah.
All right.
We're going to keep getting with these lines. Salutes to Monty. Again, I want to thank him for calling in. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We are taking all callers. All right, we're going to get to these lines again. Please give the stream a thumbs up if you can. It's greatly appreciated. Also, share the stream with your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? I love talking football with everybody. So next, we're going to my guy, Colin. Colin, we're coming directly to you. Chris, we'll come to you next. Salutes to everyone. Colin, how's everything going with you, my friend? I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, we're swinging, all right? We're talking about the Jets' cornerback position. Give me your thoughts about Sauce Gardner, man. Is he a guy you'd like to see the New York Jets take, possibly at the number 10 spot?
Hey, Joe. Good evening, buddy. Yeah, so, you know, before I got on the show, I was just thinking about, you know, what are the wants and what are the needs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to me, there's 5 needs that the Jets have to, you know, entertain. So one is for me an edge position.
Yeah.
The cornerback, the safety, the tight end, and what was that 4 I gave you, and a right guard, right? Those are my 5 needs. Cornerback, obviously, I think, you know, we should, if we could sign one in free agency, that's fine. But I still think we can draft one as well in the top 5 picks. And it's just going to be a matter of, you know, who we want to sign. Garner, we can sign at 10. Right, if he's available, there's gonna be a guy there at 10, and whoever that guy is, you know, that's probably the guy that we could draft. We could draft Gardner. We can draft Stingley if his pro day,
but when you
works out.
Yeah, but when
right?
you talk, well, 1 second, Kyle. When you talk about Stingley, and I understand, taking a guy, at in the draft, right? Say we take him at 10, and I hear what you're saying. But with Stingley, you're looking at him. There's some Jets fans that want to take him at 4, but with the injury concerns surrounding him, wouldn't that worry you a bit to take a guy? Because we've seen guys have injury concerns as well. Top corners that we've taken in the past that have had injury concerns and didn't work out here because of those injury concerns. How concerned are you about Stingley and that foot? Because if that foot is not 100%, if he ever continues to have lingering issues from that foot, that draft pick is blown. Am I correct?
It will be, and this is why Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas got to do their work. They got to do their due diligence, right? And they got to make sure that they go to the pro days. They do their evaluation, the medical, everything has to check out. And listen, they don't have to draft a Stingley. They can draft a Sauce Gardner at 10 if he is available at 10. But I don't think they need to reach for a corner at 4. However they come away with the first 5 picks, Joe, I think they need to get an edge, a corner, a tight end, and at least get the right guard. I think those are the players that we have to draft, in those first 4 picks, regardless of how you want to draft them. I don't think we need to go and sign free agents at those positions unless we're signing guys, not high paid guys, but guys, that's not going to break the bank, that can come in and help us develop these young guys that we're going to draft this year. That's more so what I'm looking at.
So you wouldn't you're not willing to take a corner, because again, let's say we take a corner in free agency like a J.C. Jackson. I think that changes the way that you draft tremendously. Go ahead.
Well, I wouldn't sign, if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm not signing any free agent that's going to break the bank. I am not overpaying for free agents because this team is building from the ground up, and I don't think in the second year we have the luxury right now to go and spend top dollars on any one player in any position right now. We still need to see what Zach Wilson is going to do in his second year, right? I personally didn't see much in the first year. So, going to sign into Devontae Adams or the top corner, what's the point in doing that?
Well, that's to help your football team now.
Spending that much money on
that's to help your football team.
It will.
Okay, for instance, let's do this.
It will. Let's
say a guy like James Daniels, right? You're not going to pay James Daniels nothing to come here. Or you're not going to, you're going to have to pay that guy to get him in the door. Well, that's a right guard. You're going to have to pay what is the going rate in free agency. And again, there's going to be a lot of teams vying for his services as well. You're going to have to pay a guy like Ryan Jensen if you want him to come in here, who at this point, right, from what we know, is a top center that's going to be in free agency. You're not going to give these guys pennies to have them come in here. You're going to have to spend. I don't think it's about not spending in free agency. I don't think it's about not doling out the cash for certain guys. I think it's about ensuring that the guys that you do give cash money to, because you're going to have to pay somebody. Because, again, we need to be competing this year. And I'm not saying we have to just wildly spend like McCagnon. What I am saying is you need to make sure that you do what it takes to get the guys that you need to bring in here. The nickel and diming, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's just not. Because the nickel and diming is not going to work if you want to protect Zach Wilson. If you want to protect Zach Wilson effectively. Go ahead.
Right. The nickel and dime is not going to work. But personally, when I look at, let's talk about the cornerback position, right? Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, I think we can go out and we can get a corner in the draft.
Okay.
Whether we get the guy at 4, we get the guy at 10, we get him at 35, or we get him at 38. I think we can get a very good corner in the draft. Mm-hmm. So my point is that we don't need to go and sign a guy like J.C. Jackson and give him $18 million a year. We can get a corner get a free agent corner,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's not gonna want top dollar like that.
Yeah.
So we could still go get a guy, but I just feel like the same with the tight end thing, right? I don't think we need to go get a tight end from Dallas and pay him, 15, 16 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can draft a tight end. We can get a Trey McBride. There's a lot of good tight ends we can get from the draft. But then we can still get a guy like Njoku from Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bring him in to work along a guy like a Trey McBride. So I don't think and that's what I mean by, I don't think we need to go out and sign one of these guys that's going to be like a premium type pick. I think we can get guys that we can bring in to help groom the guys that we're going to get in the draft this year.
Yeah. No, listen, and I hear that.
Year,
I do.
I think we can maybe go and spend money, bigger money in the following year.
Yeah,
but I don't think we really need to go out this year and do that.
Yeah, I'm not. Here's the deal. I'm not against utilizing free agency to make your football team better at all. I think utilizing free agency at certain spots to ensure that you can bring the guys in that can make your football team ascend into the next level, I think is vital at certain times. I don't understand why we can't take a premium guy. If Dalton Schultz, who is the guy that's in Dallas, if he's the guy that you can sign and bring in here, and it's not paying him $40 million a year, which Joe Douglas would never do. But I'm just saying, if you're not McCagnon stupid, right? If we're not being McCagnon stupid, then yeah, you pay him the top dollar to bring him in, because guess what? That's a guy that you can utilize, right, going forward to help your young quarterback. That's why I'm saying that I understand your strategy, but the whole nickel and diming thing, dude, we can't do that. We can't. There's a reason why. What are we saving all this money for? Look at the things that we did. Look at the things that we did, right? Look at the things that we did. George Fant, look at the things we did this last season, right? We brought in Carl Lawson, who we were all excited about. We didn't nickel and dime that guy. We paid him. He was one of the top guys, one of the top pass rushers out there. We gave him cash. We also paid Corey Davis, who played pretty well before he went down, right? We're excited about him going forward. There's so many free agent additions that we've made that we've paid to come in here. I don't understand why we can't continue to do that if we have the money. We're not cash strapped. We got, I think it's like almost $50 million coming to us this upcoming free agency. You spend that to make the team better. Of course, drafting is extremely important, but we can utilize free agency. Right. Like I just talked, let's say we get Jensen and Daniels, right? That sure ups your center and your right guard spot. Our offensive line would pretty much be secure from then on. Then what that does, and what you're talking about right now, is drafting, and you get this, you get that. Well, guess what? That changes your draft plans, because I don't have to worry about offensive line now going forward. That gives me more flexibility. So then what I could do is I can see how the board falls to me at 4. If it doesn't fall to me favorably at 4, I'm not going to tell anybody that. I'm just going to trade down, and I'm going to garner more picks. And then I could take another position. Maybe I take a corner. Maybe I take, a pass rusher. Maybe I take that free agency allows you to do that. But not utilizing free agency and nickel and dime, I can't see us doing that, because again, we need to be competing. We need to take that next step forward and get better. And if you can do that, you do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna nickel and dime, players, because I'm definitely not one for nickel and diming. Mm-hmm. I always say pay the players, like Quinn Williams, pay the guy. This is a guy that's already on your team. Yeah, he may not be the best guy in the league, but you know what? He's probably a top 10 at his position. So pay the guy, right? This is where I always say, you pay the guys that's on your team that's performing. Don't make those guys walk. Mm-hmm. But my point is, right? Instead of paying a guy like Daniel Schultz, 15, 16, 17 million a year, if I can get 2 other quality guys to come to the team in free agency, I'd rather spend the money that way. Like an Amari Cooper or an Allen Robinson. If I can get one of those guys plus, maybe a corner and a safety, right? Instead of me getting 2, more like a premium guy in free agency, if I can get 3 premium guys in free agency, or four guys. I'd rather spend the money that way.
Okay, but here's my issue with what you're saying. You're saying, hey, I want to get one or two guys, instead of paying a Dalton Schultz, right, a premium guy. You just named two guys that are going to be out there. If you want Amari Cooper and Allen Robinson, what do you think you're going to get them for per year?
Well, I think you can get either one, right? I think we can get one of those two guys.
Okay, so
if they're both available.
Okay, name the one guy you want. Name the one guy you want out of those two.
I prefer Cooper over Allen.
Okay.
I prefer Cooper over Allen Robinson.
That's perfectly fine. Now let's go with Amari Cooper. How much do you think it's going to take to get Amari Cooper to put on a Jets jersey and go out there during the year and play for us?
I don't know what he's getting right now.
He's getting $20 million.
Like I couldn't just per year.
Yes. That's why the Cowboys want to get rid of him before March 20th. He's going to get $20 million this year. So if we're going with Amari Cooper and you like him, I do too. He's good. So what do you think it's going to make? It's going to take to make him a Jet?
Million.
Well, but did you see my point?
I'm not giving him $20 million.
Exactly,
I'll give him $12 million.
Yeah.
If I can't give him 12, then I'm not paying him. I'm not paying 20 for him.
See, but that's the thing, and that's what I'm talking about. It's top end talent like that, right? And again, there's a lot of guys that's going to be.
If we were one win away from going to the Super Bowl, I'll give Amari Cooper $20 million.
Yeah,
we are not. We're trying to get to like a wild card game, or something like that.
No,
year,
but this is the deal.
So,
but no, even if you want to get one day, you want to progress to get good enough to be in that Super Bowl, right? So you need to start getting guys to also. You need to surround Zach Wilson with as much talent as you can while he's on his rookie year deal. I think that's one thing that also is lost to a lot of Jets fans, right? When you look at how the Bills have built, I'll make this real simple. The Bills built around Josh Allen quite a bit before his rookie year deal is up, and the reason why that's important is because once that's up, it's a lot harder to build around quarterbacks. It's extremely hard because they eat up so much of the cap. So you must do what it takes to build around him effectively. If you're talking about going after top-end talent, guys like Amari Cooper, I'm sorry, they're not going to come to you for $10 million a year because you also got to think there's other guys in the market too. There's other teams in the market. Other teams are vying for their services. That's just not realistic for Amari Cooper. It's just not. That guy is due $20 million. He may not get $20 million. He may get $20 million somewhere else, but that's what he's making right now.
Right.
So he's not going to come to us for $12 million. So this is what I'm saying. It's like when you look at free agency and how it works, if you're going to pay the top end guys, you go do that, right? But you need to make sure that if you're trying to surround your quarterback with players that are going to play well, players that are going to protect him, hands that he's going to be able to throw to, that you do that effectively. You don't have to dramatically break the bank, but you do have to give up cash to make it happen. You get what I'm saying?
So I guess, yeah. So I guess, if I did my homework on Amari Cooper, I probably wouldn't have mentioned his name. My point is that we have 4 picks in the top 40, right? 40 picks this year, all right? So guys that are going to cost too much money in free agency is what I'm saying is that I think those are the guys that we should try to more so go after in the draft, right? Mm-hmm. And the guys, maybe it's the O-line, maybe it's the defensive line where you're not spending 16, 17 million, on free agencies, and maybe you can spend, around 10, 12 to bring in some guys. Then those are the guys I'm going to go more harder for in free agency, and then go get the guy, go get that wide receiver. There's quite a few wide receivers we can draft, right? Mm-hmm. There's the guy from USC that you like, right? We can go get that big guy. We already got 2 other wide receivers on the team, so we can go get a Drake London, on the 10 pick. If we need to give Zach Wilson more weapons, we can go get a Trey McBride on 35. Now we have two weapons you just added for Zach Wilson right there, right? Mm-hmm. So that's my point. Let's go out and draft wisely, and don't break the bank for any one player right now, because we have 4 picks in the top 40 picks. and we can fill a lot of needs and not have to overspend on just one premium position. That's just my take. You know, we can get an edge. You know, we can get the tight end, the wide receiver, and we can get a corner in the 4 pick. So that's just my take. You know, be smart about how you're signing free agents and how you're going to draft this year. And I think this team, you know, will go from 4 wins to 7-8 wins.
Yeah.
If they play their cards right.
Yeah, we've definitely got to be smart. But I think if there's a guy that you covet, and if we have the money, as long as you're not destroying your cap, and there's going to be guys that we're going to have to attack and we're going to have to go after. But Colin, I want to thank you for calling in, man. It's been phenomenal speaking with you. All right, you have yourself a good night, my friend.
Yeah, just take care.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, calling in with some heat. All right, I get it. All right, but we got to continue to address this team, and if we can, free agency could be the way. I'm not saying every single position we're going to have to attack that way, but we must do what it can. We must do what it takes to make sure that we get the guy that we covet. I'm sorry, but free agency, when you go into that market, you're going to have to pay. There's no getting away from it, and especially if you want to compete. You can utilize free agency to make your football team better. It's not. I know that we don't think that because there's a lot of issues from the past, especially with bad general managers. But we didn't dramatically overpay last season, and we got some quality free agents in here. But you're going to have to pay them. Can't nickel and dime guys to come here, and especially when the New York Jets don't have like some illustrious history. It's not like we're the Patriots. It's not like we're, you know, the Bucks where players are willing to come here because, hey, they have a long history of winning. No, you're talking to the guy right here that talked to people about the Jets tax. For those of you that don't remember what the Jets tax is, when you're the Jets and you're bad, people want to take more to come play with you, come play for you. All right? That's how it works. Now, of course, that's starting to be dissolved because we got some momentum. Saleh's in here, Joe Duggan. A lot of people respect them, but still, we have not been a winner. All right? You got to keep that in mind when we're talking about free agency and some of these players. They're going to want cash to pay here. Can't nickel and dime them. But salutes to my guy, Sean Gully, with the big donation. I said salutes to my guy Gully with the big donation. Gully says Garrett Wilson and Olave, Ohio State over Drake London and USC. Hashtag hire better security. Salutes to Monty Gully. Okay? As you can clearly see, I want to thank him for giving to the program, and he couldn't wait to disrespect SC as soon as possible. That's all I'm saying. Salutes to Monty. I want to thank him. There was no need to disrespect USC, but I will thank you for that. And salutes to Ohio State. I respect you guys. Wow. Even when he's not here on the program, even in the chat, he can't wait to disrespect. Salutes to Monty again with a big donation, all right? Thank you, Monty. So we're going to keep going to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, CT. CT, I'm coming directly to you. CT, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. It's good to hear from you. CT, we're going off. We're going off, man. And we're talking. All right. This cornerback position with the New York Jets needs to be addressed. Give me your thoughts on the current position, man, and the way it stands. How are you feeling about Bryce Hall? Is he a legitimate number one corner to you?
I think we need to give Bryce Hall some time to develop into a number one. But at this moment, from what we've seen, he's been a really good number two. I think that Bryce Hall, if he can just get the ball, take it away a little bit more, then he has a chance to be a number one. But I think he's very young, and he has a lot of, growing to do. I think that we sometimes get hard on these kids. Like I can't stand the Kai Becton hate going on because the guy really hasn't had a chance. And when he did have a chance, he was great. So like sometimes we don't give these young cats who we draft a chance to really be the starter, and we're always looking out to the next, person to come into and change the history of the Jets. But a lot of our homegrown talent seems to be working with Robert Saleh and improving throughout the year over time. And, Bryce Hall was one of those guys who I saw as, an improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. Now, when you're talking about developing guys and allowing guys more time to play here and seeing how they turn out, are you big on maybe chasing a big corner to come in here in free agency, or are you set with Hall and Eckles being our number 1 and 2 going forward?
I like Eckles, but I think I want to get somebody else aside Bryce Hall. Just whoever's starting, whether it's you want to call them 1, 2, 2, 1, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. 2 starting wide receivers, I think Eckles can come in off the bench, in packages, keep Michael Carter in as a nickel. But Bryce Hall, I think that when you say somebody gets sick, somebody gets injured, you want to take somebody out of the series, putting in Eckles, he's very serviceable, but I wouldn't start him.
Okay.
So I would bring somebody in for, a good price if we can find somebody in. I hear there's a rumor about trading for James Bradbury with a 3rd rounder. Hey, I'll take it. If the time to kind of get rid of some cap, I'm down to give him a 3rd rounder for James Bradbury. I think he's been a great corner, so I'm down.
Okay. What about a guy like J.C. Jackson in free agency? There's a lot of people that want to see the New York Jets, a lot of Jets fans that want to see the New York Jets take a swing for him in free agency. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that J.C. Jackson is probably going to be going to a contender. I don't think he's going to be coming to the Jets, but if we can somehow nag him, if he just feels like, I want to be in New York, then I'm all for it, because I think taking one of the best corners from our rivals would be ill. I think that would be dope. I think that he's right in with our defense as well, but I think the likelihood of that right now is low, but if it happened, I would be, super happy. I would be jumping to the moon, because I think that at that point our cornerbacks are set.
Okay. How are you feeling about, there's a lot of talk about Amari Cooper right now amongst a lot of people, right? There's a lot of talk about him hitting free agency. It's looking like the Cowboys are probably going to get rid of him. Is he a guy that you think the New York Jets should be interested in bringing in? And if so, what would be the max that you would pay him, man?
I wouldn't pay him $20 million. I'll tell you right now, but I would honestly give him an offer. I would definitely, if he can't hit free agency, I would offer him something like 15. Because obviously he's 28. He probably wouldn't come in for 15. If he doesn't take it, then let him go. Let him go wherever he can get paid. He probably will go to contender as well. But I think our money, if we want to spend on a key name, get Dalton Shelton, pay him whatever he wants, because we need a tight end, but I wouldn't pay for a wide receiver in this free agency. I would actually try to see if we can get Allen Robinson maybe a little cheaper, after his down season, because I think he stuck a lot in the tank. So I would try to get Allen Robinson, and Dalton Schultz, one of those 2 guys, to help out our guy Zach.
Okay. So you talked about Dalton Schultz, and we just got done talking about him. And there's the last caller as well, salutes to him. He was saying, hey, I'm not willing to break the bank for a guy like Dalton Schultz. Now, when you look at Dalton, what exactly about him makes you want to see him be a Jet, man? Because I think he's a phenomenal tight end. I watch the Cowboys often.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think he'd be able to bring to the table here that we don't have, that we need from him, man?
I think he's been consistent more than anything. I think our tight ends haven't been consistent. And we're trying to figure it out with the blocking and everything. So I think Dalton is good at both. He can see and he can block. And that gives us a little flexibility when we hit the draft in the 2nd round to say, hey, maybe we don't need to go tight end right away, but we can definitely pull one in later on and still have a serviceable tight end like Jeremy Rucker maybe in the 3rd round instead of getting, Trey McBride in the 2nd. He might even go in the late 1st. So from what we're seeing him do at the combine. So, I'm totally down for getting Dalton Shelton. If we're going to spend money, last year the big signing was Carl Lawson. Obviously, we didn't get to see him play. He'll be back this next coming season. And this year, the big signing I wanted to be tight end. So, I'll tell you right now, I'm a defense guy. So I would love to, put money in the cornerback spot. But I think that this year, the value is in getting a tight end for Zach. And then I would honestly draft the safety Kyle Hamilton and get a cornerback later on in the back end of the draft.
Oh yeah, you're a big Kyle Hamilton guy. Yeah, we definitely.
You know it.
Come on,
it.
CT. Come on, man.
That
You tried to
guy's a
slide.
unicorn, baby.
Yeah,
You
you tried to just slide that right past me, and it was not gonna work. Listen, I understand, right? I get it, but in no scenario, I want to make sure that I let everybody know this. In no scenario do I think the New York Jets should take Kyle Hamilton at 4. Okay,
Y'all are haters.
Huh?
Y'all are haters.
Oh,
y'all are haters, man. Like, you gotta be talking about.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I hate y'all. I swear.
Come on. I mean, now we all hate it.
Like,
CT, what do you want from me?
What
CT?
more do you want from me?
What do you want from me, CT? We got nobody's a hater. I want to be very clear.
For me,
nobody's a hater. We're just having to set things straight, CT. There is no way you can look at this Jets roster and go, yeah, safety is definitely something we should take it for. What?
We can definitely agree on Kayvon Thibodeau. If we get him, I would get him before Kyle Hamilton. But other than that, there's nobody else that would take before Kyle Hamilton at number 4, in my opinion.
What?
You know, that's in my opinion. I mean, I understand it's not popular, but at the end of the day, I think that it's worth it for his talent. I think that it's going to make it, once we see him on the field, y'all not going to regret it. No. I'm telling you. But I get it, you know, and especially because we got 2 first-round picks, how often do we have this opportunity to say, you know what, the best play in the draft, we have actually the luxury to do it. Why not take him and then take the offensive lineman Charles Cross at number 10? I think that would be dope. So, like, that's just my dream scenario, and I know it's not popular, but hey, if Kayvon's there, take him first.
Yeah.
But if not, get my back on Hamilton.
Listen, I'll tell you what. There's a definitely. I would take IK before I would take him. Ikwanu, I would take him easily, easily over a safety.
He's a good too.
Yeah, I would take him over. And I get it though, CT. I like I said, he's a great player, but I am not going to take a safety, especially when we have needs at edge. And you talked about a guy that, you know, I asked the question. A lot of Jets fans, what do they expect from Carl Lawson coming back from this injury? And there was a lot of varying answers. And it seems like, at least with you, you know, you have a big amount of confidence in him coming back and being able to perform after this injury. So what are your expectations of him next season coming off this torn Achilles? Do you think he's actually going to come back and just immediately give us crazy sack numbers?
I mean, ask you a question. Did you watch One Just Drive last year?
I watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's certain people and certain mentalities that I don't bet against. Mm-hmm. And Carl Lawson has that mentality. And there's certain people who came back from that injury, like it's impossible. And I think that with the way he approaches the game, the leadership he brings to the table, and leaving the Bengals and coming to the Jets, he's going to want to come and do something and you know, and really make his legacy on our team. And I can't wait to see him. Honestly, I think that he's being slept on as far as, like, you know, the conversation on what's going to happen next year. But I think as things obviously move on after the draft, people are going to really be excited to see him in training camp and, you know, be just as good as he was last time. So I really believe in Carl Lawson, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, I believe in Mike McCarthy as well. But Carl Lawson, man, his mentality, I don't bet against him. He just seems like a guy who's going to not be denied. And if it wasn't for his injury, we would have saw it this year. Yeah. But I can't wait to see it. And if we get KP, that offensive line is going to be crazy. It's going to be sick.
Man, let me tell you something. Look, I love Carl Lawson. I expect him to come back. Yeah, I do expect him to come back, and I think he's going to be all right. But I don't know if I can expect the big sack numbers. I get his personality is huge. You can see it on social media. I mean, this guy he loves the team. Jets fans get riled up for him. The day we signed him, you know, he came up with the Jets. That was wonderful. But that torn Achilles is an injury that is tough to come back from. And let me tell you something. It takes you about a year to kind of get back into form. So that's why I'm big, and this is why I don't want to have a safety come here, is because, listen, let's not take a safety at 4. Let's take a pass rusher. I want 2 or 3 pass rushers. That's what I want, because we're in a passing league where you can get bombed over at any time. And we've seen the effectiveness of pass rush and how much it can make great quarterbacks look like mere mortals. We saw what the Bucks did.
You're talking about getting bombed on, and we don't want the safety that can prevent that. Like, and
no.
I'm trying.
See, but that's the thing where
everybody has their own narrative.
That's not our own narrative though. CT. What I think you're missing is we're not getting bombed on because our safety play is so bad. We're getting bombed on because we don't have a pass rush. That's why. Yeah. We don't have a pass rush, CT. We literally don't. We don't have a pass rusher. We don't have a pass rusher. Carl Lawson went down. There was nobody to answer at all. John Franklin Myers was decent for a couple games. Outside of that, especially the last half of the season, he was a non-factor. After him, who was the pass rusher? Nobody. So how can you sit back in a defense? Hold on 1 second. I'll hear you out in just 1 second. I'll give you the last word. How can you look at a defense, right? Because we're supposed to be running exactly what the Niners run. We're supposed to look like them exactly defensively, right? How can you look at a defense like the 49ers who have a phenomenal front but have pretty much a no-name secondary where nobody knows what they look like or nobody knows their names? How do you think that this works? It's because the defense is built from front to back, not back to front. It's all about pressure. That's how this defense works. You don't need an all-pro safety. You don't need a generational safety. You don't need any of that stuff to have a great defense in this league. You need a pass rush, and we ain't got that. We don't.
All right.
Go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, and that's one way to look at it. And this is how I look at it. I look at this draft as one of the deepest pass rusher drafts we've seen. It may not be a Chase Young in there, but I think it's hella deep.
Okay.
I think that when it comes to pass rush, you can get it later or even pick somebody up in free agency. I really do believe. And we're getting Carl Lawson back. So, I mean, we're going to have a pass rush. He might not be as dominant as he was the year prior, but let's see him get going. And I believe in him, me personally. So I look at it from this standpoint. It's a deep edge rusher draft. But after Kyle Hamilton, there's a big dip to the next safety. The next safety is probably going to be taken in the second round at earliest. It might even be the third. So that's why I'm like, all right, since we have no safety literally on this team, like I don't think it's absurd to say, hey, you know what, this one that's as good as everybody's seeing, and you can see it on tape, and you also develop him to be a special player who's also a leader. This safety is probably, people are saying, the best person in the draft. Since we have 2 first-round picks, that's a luxury. We have the option to take a little bit of a gamble on the best player. On top of that, get an edge with number 10 or get offensive line with number 10. So I'm down either way. And only under the scenario where Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau are taken prior to pick 4. And that's my take. And it's just one opinion. It's just one way to look at it. I'm not saying I'm like the right one, but I'm saying that's how I prefer it as far as approaching the draft and free agency. Yeah.
No, listen, and that's why we go back and forth, CT. That's where I respect you. You're going to come in and bring your takes, even though I don't agree. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, CT, for that. I respect it. Hey, listen, I respect your takes there. So, so my last question before I let you go, and Tom, will come to you in a second. My last question before I let you go is, I know you probably saw the workout video from Mekhi Becton that was put on social media, right? He's in the gym. He's getting himself, ready to go for this upcoming season. He's doing the off-season workout stuff. He's prepping himself. There was a lot of negative takes from Jets fans. I will say that. There was a lot of people telling him that, hey, you should have been in the gym. This looks like this is the first time you've ever been in the gym. All this kind of stuff. Give me your thoughts about some of the hate that we've seen for Mekhi Becton since the injury, man. Do you feel like a lot of Jets fans have turned their backs on them? And then when he comes in this season, if he comes in and shows out, do you think a lot of those fans will turn around?
Yes, I think Jets fans are very fickle, and they have a short-term memory. They don't remember what he did in his rookie season and how happy they were that we got Mekhi Becton at number 11. So, I think that you guys really need to go back and watch his rookie season because it's not his fault that he got rolled on, So to just doubt him because he's a big man, it's easy as a guy who's that big to say, oh, it's your weight, and just point the finger at his weight because he's bigger than everybody else on the field. But when he's also dominating those guys, y'all ain't going to talk about his weight. You're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear that. The only reason why you're saying that because he hasn't been on the field. That's the only reason. Yeah. So I think that people are kind of hard on him. And he's a young kid, so give him his chance. Give him his chance to actually prove that he's one of the best left tackles in the league. And I'm telling you, we'll see something this year coming up if he stays healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Listen, man. Salute to CT. Let's give CT a hand. You know what I'm saying? CT came with the takes. He came with the takes. Came with the takes. I done told y'all about clapping for too long. Okay, I'm not paying y'all for that. Listen, this dude wants to take a safety at 4. I'm definitely not paying y'all for clapping for him. Okay, that's all right. He came with the takes, but let's not get too crazy. All All right, listen, salutes to you, CT. All right, I got to get to the rest of the callers. You have yourself a good night. Yeah, you have a good one, CT. Peace out, man. Yeah, you know, don't clap too long for a guy who wants to take a safety at 4. Don't do that. I'm not going to pay you. Studio audience, I'm not going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. When you call in, please be patient. We'll get to everybody. A lot of takes going on, a lot of fire. I assure you, you'll get your time. You know what I'm saying? I know we got quite a bit of callers online. We're going to get to everybody. Please give the stream a thumbs up if you're here. Also subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Also share the show as well with your friends and your family. All right. So next, we're getting to my guy, Tom. Tom, we're coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Tom. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, we are talking corners. We are talking Jets defense. We're talking about it all. Give me your thoughts about the New York Jets' current corner situation. How are you feeling about Bryce Hall and Brandon Eckles? 813? Tom? 813?
Did you say 813?
Yeah, 813. This is you.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, Joe. It's Ted. I'm Riverview, Florida. I'm
Ted, sorry.
in White Jets, Florida, in your YouTube.
Oh, hey.
That's okay.
How's it going?
Hey, Joe.
What's going on, man? Give me your thoughts about the...
Good, Joe. Good, Joe.
Yeah, give me your thoughts about the New York Jets corner.
Tom, so...
Yeah, sorry, I'm my producer. Anyway, so give me your thoughts about
Bryce?
the
go ahead.
cornerback position.
So Bryce Hall, Bryce Hall is he's got skill, like the other caller said. He just doesn't make the the picks or anything. I don't think he's quite a 1. He's probably a 2, close to a 1A. I don't think him and Eckles can hold up as competent enough players to keep us, just the proof is on the field, let's just say. I mean, listening to your shows after, for example, the Falcon game when Cordell Patterson was all over the field and Jonathan Taylor was all over the field. I just think we need huge upgrades. Ashton Davis needs to be upgraded. I agree with the other caller about upgrading the defense early in the draft, and not necessarily a pass rusher.
So you're about taking a safety?
I do, and I do like Hamilton myself. Mm-hmm.
Wow, so you would take a safety at 4 as
like
well?
Hamilton.
You would take a safety at 4 as well?
I think he's gonna be more of a Fred Warner type, where he's almost the same size as Fred Warner. Of the 49ers. He's about 220. He's about 6'4". He's a pretty big safety. I think we can address the edge free agency, but to get a player of that caliber who can cover the field, who can hit, not afraid to, and he's way better than a Jamal Adams. He's not a Jamal who can, get sacks and hit. The guy can defend, and the guy can come up and stop the run. Our defense was a sieve. I mean, we got players off the street trying to play defense. We had, the Ashton Davis types who should not be starters. They should probably be best as a backup, or a nickel or something like that, or a dime. I really think we need like a Sauce Gardner and Hamilton, and I really think number 4 might be in play for somebody trading up for not Patrick Willis, for Willis.
Okay, so here's my thing, and again salutes, and I want to thank you for calling in. Here's my problem, is that when you talk about taking a safety at 4, right, and we're talking about defense, we're talking about our defense. And you're right, our defense last year was, it needs to be upgraded, right? But I think the biggest issue with our defense is we don't have a pass rush. We don't have a pass rusher at all. And so my question is, when you look at this team, how can you take a safety, a position of non-impact, over a lot of the other weapons and issues that we have? Because we're just talking about defense right now, needing an edge rusher, which we could use 2 or 3 of them, right? Because we really don't have one. Carl Lawson, phenomenal guy, phenomenal player, love him. But I have no clue of what he's actually going to look like coming off that torn Achilles. And if you look at the New York Jets and our history of bad luck in this league, it'll be our luck that we don't properly address the edge. Not saying he'll do that, but we don't properly address the edge. And then Carl Lawson comes back and he's never exactly what we thought he was going to be. Never be that dominant edge rusher that we need, right? And then we're just stuck in this perpetual cycle of nothing, right? So how can you look at the other needs that we have and think, I'll take a safety before I take a guard, or before I take a center, or before I take a wide receiver, or before I take another edge rusher, or even a corner? How?
Sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead.
I think we can get like a Boye Mafe type in the second round from Minnesota, like a pass rusher. We can take the kid from Boston College, the offensive lineman, Zach. What was his name?
Are you talking about Zion Johnson?
Anyway, offensive line Zion, right? Zion Johnson. I think we can maybe get him late first if we have to trade into the first, or one of our second rounders. But I understand what you're saying about pass rusher. We can sign one in free agency, but if we can't stop anybody, Zach will never see the ball. Zach will never see the ball if we cannot make a stop.
Yeah, but a big thing about
if we give up 40 points or 50 points a game.
You're right. You're right. I mean, you're right. But I think a big thing about making a stop is getting to the passer. We can't do that.
I agree.
Everybody thinks make it,
but
and
I agree,
get it.
But there's no.
I get a lot of the, hey, we need a safety because we're getting bombed over. We're getting bombed over, and we can't make a stop because we have no pass rush. That's the biggest problem. If you look at the top defenses in this league, they have 1, 2, sometimes even 3 guys that they can send at you. We have no one.
I agree.
We don't have anybody. So that's my argument against safety.
We did have Jamal Adams.
Well, even when Jamal Adams was here, we were still losing. Like, we were still not very good.
True, too. That's why he was gone.
Yeah.
That's why he left.
Yeah, he was.
I understand, Joe. But
go ahead.
But Joe, let me just say this. I look at number 4. Okay, I look at number 4 pick, and I say, Joey Bosa. If Joey Bosa was there at 4, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think any of these guys. Well, first of all, the kid from Hutchinson's going to be gone.
Yeah.
I think Thibodeau could slide, but I don't think Thibodeau's going to is worth a 4. And
really?
I don't think the second.
That was literally going to be my next question.
I don't think so.
Wow. So you're telling me
I don't think he's worth a 4.
You would pass on Kayvon Thibodeau if he's sitting there at 4.
Would I pass on him
Yeah.
to take Hamilton? I happen to believe so. If you can get a competent free agent,
go ahead.
If you can get a competent free agent edge rusher and get like a Mafe in the second round, somebody like that. But I just see the defense is. I understand the pass rush will help, certainly, but I just look at the Rams, for example. They traded for Ramsey. They gave up a lot for Ramsey. If you don't have the competency in the back end, you'll never stop. How are we going to stop the Bills? How are we going to stop Diggs?
Well, if
nobody can cover Diggs.
Yeah, but but you're talking corner and safety is not the same thing. But if you look at the Rams, let's say if you're talking about the Rams safety, or you're talking about safeties being as important as you're trying to make the argument to be. If you look at the Rams, if you look at the Bills, if you look at these teams, you name it, they all have phenomenal pass rushers. All of them. Like the Rams got Von Miller. They got a boatload of guys they can send at you. The Bills, my God. The Bills is just everything they do over there is rushing the passer. We don't have that. That's why I understand, and I've gotten into it with a bunch of Jets fans about it. I get it. Hamilton's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. But you cannot talk about taking a safety when you don't have a pass rush. And I love Boye Mafe. But again, if Thibodeau is there, I'm taking him at 4. If I can grab another guy, I know some people aren't talking about him, but I've been talking about him quite a bit. Jermaine Johnson. I mean, anybody see him at the Senior Bowl? Like, even after the Senior Bowl. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. Why is no Jets fans talking about taking him? Because he's a guy that can fit in this scheme as well and handle business. Hell, but even before that, we're just talking about safety, but again, we're not even talking about properly protecting Zach Wilson. I'm taking Tyler Linderbaum at 10. I'm taking him before I would take him. I would take Tyler Linderbaum at 4 before I would take a safety. because safety is an impact of non-position impact. It's non-impact position. I'm not gonna take that over. I'm not taking a safety over an offensive lineman, and I'm not taking a safety over a pass rusher. I'm not. I'll take Sauce Gardner at 4 before I would take
blow your mind.
Hamilton. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let me blow your mind because I wanted Sauce Gardner and Hamilton. That's my 2 picks. So there you go. Those were my 2 dream picks. Because then you have a number 1 corner, and you have a roving safety like Tyrann Mathieu who can cover and it can hit and be the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah.
Besides Mosley, but I understand all your points about the edge and everything. I guess it all depends on how they value certain players. But I have to say, Joe Douglas used the word Swiss Army knife or something. No, unicorn player.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about a unicorn player in his presser.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Hamilton was referred to as a unicorn player. I don't think it may be coincidence, but I just think he kind of dropped that little thing in there, maybe,
well,
to say he liked Hamilton. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Joe Douglas, and again, that unicorn player. And we've seen Joe Douglas talk up players and butter them up, and really work other teams up to do what? To utilize them and use them.
Yep.
To trade down and destroy you, or to throw you off the trail of another player. Joe Douglas is so savvy, dude. We've seen him he traded Jamal Adams for 2 first-round picks, an overrated box safety, and told us the entire time what? We intend on him being a Jet for the rest of his career. I can't wait to sign Jamal Adams Go back and listen to all that stuff. And what did he do? Once things really got going, he got his ass out of here as soon as possible. Gone.
Mm-hmm.
For great value. So,
Hey, Joe, let me say one more thing.
Go ahead, man.
Sorry, Joe. Joe, the number 4 pick, if it's traded, though, may not have to worry about that. But how far can we go down where you would feel comfortable still taking a quality player? If you traded number 4.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, there's, to me, especially with Joe Douglas being here, I wouldn't mind if we traded down maybe to 9. Honestly, it would depend on the package, right? It depends on the package that we get back. If the package is moving you to the point where you're really getting big capital and allows us to continue to build, dude, I wouldn't mind trading down quite a bit at all, because I believe in the ability of Joe Douglas. And I think that, again, we have so many positions of need and there's so many players that we can still get and address. There's talk, again, like I said, I'd take Tyler Linderbaum at 4, but there's talk about him being there until 10. Jermaine Johnson has been brought up. He's supposed to be there till 10. You see Olave really shooting up the boards. Everyone knows I love Drake London. These are all players that are fitting into positions of need for us, because a lot of people still think we need, a wide receiver to pair up to make our offense even more deadly. We still need offensive linemen to make it more deadly. We still need, pass rushers to make it more deadly. There's some corners that could be there as well, make us more deadly. So, trading, low or maybe even a little bit outside of the top 10, again, the package would have to be something serious, for us to move. But, dude, if we got something that could really change us and our outlook, I have no issues with that whatsoever. So that's gonna be my question for you. It's gonna be a last question before I let you go. That's my question for you is, if we're trading out of 4, what's the furthest you're willing to go down?
I'm sure it would get us the first next year. Yeah, I'm sure it would get us probably a first next year and maybe more. And that first may be mid-round first. Like I say, if it's the Steelers, but they're around 20. It'd have to be around, like you said, in the top 15, maybe 12 would be nice. That way we can still get Hamilton and Sauce Gardner.
This guy is stuck.
And I'll still be happy. And get a first next year.
Absolutely. Listen, let me give you a hand, man, because you stood firm. I'll give that to you. I'll give that to him.
A long one, Joe. A long one, Joe.
He stood firm. You know what I'm I'm saying? Oh, whoa, wait. We're clapping way too long for another guy that wants a safety at 4.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
Yes, we are. Well,
no. We're not clapping too long.
Bro, you don't pay them. Okay, look, are you going to pay them? Because I'm not paying them. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
That's true.
You send the check, and they'll clap for as long as you want. All right?
You run the show, Joe. Right. Yeah, I'm just a passenger on the ship.
No, listen, man, I want to thank you for calling. It was phenomenal to speak with you, my friend. Listen, I have another show. I want to hear from you, all right?
Thanks, Joe.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, Joe. I'll be in the box. You too, Joe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. You know, people want to talk. Yeah, listen, if they clap for too long, I got to stop them, all right? I'm not paying these people, all right? I'm not paying you for clapping that long. Too much, okay? Slow it down, okay? And you'll get the money for your allotted amount of time, all right? Other than that, no, sir. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're talking about it all. We're arguing. We're talking safeties. We're talking corners. We're talking free agents. Also, give the stream a thumbs up if you're watching. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, and hit that notification bell so that when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Salutes to everyone that is given to the platform tonight. Salutes to my guy Monty. Salutes to everybody, man. So we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy Max. Max, coming directly to you. Salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, we are talking. There's a lot of people that want to take a safety at 4. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that because even though I understand in like past years, safety wasn't if it was like last year, for example, no. But Kyle Hamilton's like the best safety I've seen in years. Like people think, we shouldn't draft Kyle Hamilton because he's a safety. No, he's like the best. He's not just a safety prospect. He's the best safety prospect in 20 years. Mm-hmm. He's literally like the best. He can play He can play a corner. He can play linebacker. He's like really versatile on our defense.
So we've had multiple discussions. The last caller said that if Kayvon Thibodeau was there for, of course, this would probably never happen. But if Kayvon Thibodeau is there at 4 and Hamilton is there at 4, are you taking Hamilton over Thibodeau?
Not because if Thibodeau was there, he's a really good edge presence. Imagine the defense with Lawson and then Thibodeau. If Thibodeau was there at 4, we're taking Kayvon Thibodeau. The reason why I would take Hamilton at 4 is because if Kayvon's not there, if he's drafted number 1 overall, like I want the Jets to draft Kayvon, but that's not going to happen because he's probably going number 1 overall to the Jaguars, or he's going top 3. Yeah. Same thing with Hamilton. He might go top 3 as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot to be made about a lot of these things that's going on at the combine, too, because, there's people performing. Olave is performing. Iquanu is going off. He's performed well as well. He's a guy that's definitely shoot up the boards. A lot of people talking about he could be in that top talk now as well. But when you look at the New York Jets and where we're at need, especially is corner. We need some corners around here. Now, Bryce Hall, Brandon Eckles right now are the current guys. What are your thoughts about them in our secondary, man? How are you feeling about it currently? I mean, do you think that Hall and Eckles, or Hall and Eckles are guys that we can go into the future with?
Yeah, I agree because, I mean, even though they're decent corners, I think we should also draft a corner at 10. We should either draft Derek Stingley or Sauce Gardner. Mm-hmm. But I think Sauce Gardner is like a better prospect, I think, because he was better in Cincinnati and he doesn't have like as many injury concerns as Derek Stingley, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or go for a guy in free agency like Richard Sherman to mentor the young corners. That's what I would also do if I were the Jets. I've been saying this last offseason. I wanted the Jets to sign Richard Sherman to mentor our young corners.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a guy. He's an older guy. He could still come in, like you said, and mentor, though. But what are your thoughts about them taking big swings at a guy like J.C. Jackson? There's a lot of Jets fans that are nervous because of what we dealt in the past with, a guy like Jermaine Johnson. Do you think J.C. Jackson would be a good fit here?
I think he would be a good fit. As long as we don't pay him like top corner money, he'll be good. Unless we don't pay him like $60 million a year like Michael Kagan does. I don't care. J.C. Jackson's a top corner in football. I really like him. Okay. And I think he can be a really good corner in the NFL.
So when you're talking about paying a guy, because free agency is all about making sure that, or if you're going into free agency, you got to make sure that you get the guy that you covet, right? And sometimes that takes you north of some numbers that you don't like. What is the most, if you were the Jets general manager, what is the most that you would be willing to pay JC per year?
Like, I would say maybe like $20, like $20 million per year, I would say.
Wow, okay.
Over like maybe 2 years, $20 million. Like, not that much money.
I mean, well, I don't know if he go for the 2-year deal, but $20 million I think is, I think he'll probably get around 18 mil is probably what he's going to be looking for. So 20 million would be definitely in the ballpark that would get him in the building. So I hear you, because there's been a lot of people that don't want to pay, but you going after corners in free agency, let me tell you. Especially you look at what Byron Jones got. Whoa, that market's going up. You know what I'm saying? But so when you continue on the road and you talk about free agency and guys that could be out there, there's also talk about Allen Robinson being linked to the New York Jets. Amari Cooper is out there as well. Supposedly he's going to get released by the Cowboys, if they can't find a trade partner. Should we be interested in going after Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I think we should sign him. Amari Cooper is like one of the best wide receivers in football. If we can, I don't know if it might happen, but there's been reports that the Jets also wanting that the Seahawks are willing to trade DK Metcalf. I will 100% trade for DK Metcalf. I wanted the Jets to draft him in 2019. I was pissed off that Tank wouldn't win because they passed up on DK Metcalf. He fell all the way in the draft to 63, and I want the Jets to sign him DK Metcalf. He's a really explosive receiver. He can be a really good deep threat. Corey Davis is just not that deep threat. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah. So if you're trading for DK, like you just said, what exactly are you giving up? What is the package that you're calling the Seahawks to offer, man?
So I would offer probably the number 10 pick, and then like a fifth, and then like a third and a fifth.
Wow. Okay. You doing what it takes to get the guys, man. You're doing what it takes to better this football team. The 10 pick, though. Okay. All right. I mean, he's a big time wide receiver.
I mean, he's a big time wide receiver. Probably. You got him.
Yeah. So my final question for you, man, because again, there's a lot going on out here. When you look at the situation with Mekhi Becton, he's posting his workout stuff up. There's a lot of negative comments coming and hate coming towards his way. What are your thoughts about that, man? What are your thoughts about Jets fans getting after a guy like Mekhi Becton that's working his way back into, getting back on this field and doing what he needs to do for us?
I don't understand why the Jets fans are complaining about his workout. If he's actually working out and staying in shape, I don't agree. I don't care. Like, maybe because he was injured like last year, but he didn't have good conditioning. This is the same thing to me. Like, Jets fans can complain all they want, but I'm the same thing with Mekhi. I'm always wanting to work hard and stuff. I'm using my track as an example. I'm working out for track, trying to do my best. Same thing with Mekhi Becton. It's the same thing. I don't know why these Jets fans are just trying to get more followers on social media by posting negative shit about players.
Watch your language. It's a family show. Watch your language. Go ahead. Watch it.
Okay, so I don't understand why Jets fans, like, on social media criticize a player. Like, it's just annoying. Like, they just want to do for likes, but it's just not. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Listen, Max, you got some takes there. I agree with you. But so I'm going to let you go, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have yourself a good one, all right?
Okay.
All right. Listen, Max calling in with the fire. He said he wants to give up quite a bit for DK Metcalf. A first, a third, and a fifth. Woo! I hear you. I don't know about that. Okay, especially with some of the needs. DK is phenomenal. But the 10th pick, a third, and a fifth, and then you have to make sure you pay him as well because he's got that deal that's coming to a close. Whew. Listen, this has been a hot show, folks. This has been a hot show. We've had a bunch of callers, a lot of different perspectives going on, a lot of fire spit. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I am on Twitter as well. All right. I'm on Twitter. YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. All right. You want to troll me? No problem. I'll troll you right back. And I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. There's been a lot of disrespect tonight against USC. I don't like that. A lot of disrespect. Okay. But we'll put that away. Okay. Because Vera Tucker, as we have seen here, Elijah Vera Tucker, one of the better guards in the league. All right. Young player. Just started playing for us this year. You see what he does. Guess where he came from? Fight on. So we're going to troll me. Hit that follow button. I'll troll you right back on there as well. Show's page is The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe. All right. Go ahead and follow that page as well. We can go back and forth. I'm also on YouTube as well, folks. Long Beach Joe Jets. Go to YouTube. Hit that. Put that in the search bar. When you get to that page, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You want to troll me, no issues, hit the comments and I'll troll you right back. We'll go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Okay? Free hugs for everyone. These hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. No matter what anyone says, the hugs will always remain free. I want to thank you folks for listening. I want to thank everyone that gave to the platform. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. All right. Should be back now. Salutes to everybody. I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. Woo! It was a hot show. Lots of takes. Lots of takes. All right. If you're new to this platform, exclamation point links in the chat. All right. Exclamation point links. That brings up the links to my link tree. All right. My link tree has all of my content in there, all of my social media contacts. Just hit that link. You can go to my Discord is in there. See Discord, guys? I'm talking about my Discord again. Hit my Discord. I got my mods in my Discord. Get after me. Hit my Discord. Join my Discord. We have a lot of fun. My Twitter's in there. Instagram, my Facebook page. All that stuff is in there. All of my YouTube channels is in there as well. Also, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. It's greatly appreciated. Again, hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all will be in the know. You know what I'm saying? Have a lot of fun with that. We also run these streams year round, so we're going to continue. My next show is going to be, what's today? I think today's Friday. So Tuesday is going to be my next stream. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the New York Jets. We do this year round. Now, if you're new to the program, this number right here, okay, this number right here is the number to the show. It's always going to be the number to the show. So when I go live, if you call into the show about 10 minutes before the show starts and sit on the line, when the show starts, you'll be on a bit earlier than everyone else. Again, please be patient. When you call in, I get to everybody, okay? I'm not going to give everybody 40 minutes, but we'll get to everybody. I'll give you about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to talk, and we will get to everybody. I want to respect everybody's time, but just know that, just wait your time and everything will be fine. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to everybody. I don't try to pass up anybody, but that's what it is, all right? So just hold on. We'll get to you, and that's that, all right? Whew, man, quite a show. It was a hot one, man. We had a lot of hot takes going on. So, yeah, please, again, call in. Again, I want to thank everybody that gave to the platform tonight. It was phenomenal. Really enjoy speaking to people. That's why I do this. Again, please share this stream with your friends and family. Have a lot of fun. Oh, also, we do a lot of different stuff on this platform. You'll see videos outside of just me doing lives as well. We also game on this platform, too. So we have a lot of fun doing that. We play like Madden, NBA 2K, Outlast. Played all kinds of stuff. Street Fighter, all that stuff. For those of you that don't know, Street Fighter 6 is coming. And boy, am I hyped. I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody else, you know what I'm saying? We definitely, when we play, we go back and forth a lot about stuff. But I can't wait to see Street Fighter 6. So we'll see what happens with that. But so we have a lot of fun on here. And we do a lot of different stuff. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining. Got to get out of here because my schedule is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely crazy. So salutes to everybody again that joined. We'll have a lot of fun. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern is the next show. Salutes to 04 Karma. Good to see you in here. Adrian Gutierrez, man. Everybody that just came on by and said, what's up? NY Sports, salutes to you. Good to see you in here as well, my friend. Good to see everybody that dropped on by. NY Jets FL. Monty, salutes to you as well. Salutes to everybody that came on through. Brian Seal, Larry, everybody that came on by, man, and just said, what's up? NY Jets FL, salutes to you. Good to see you as well. Everybody that came by, said what's up, watched, listened, called in, anything salutes. This is why I do it. Have a lot of fun doing this. Enjoy talking to Jets, man. And I enjoy talking about the team. And again, you know what I'm saying? This is a family show. Oh, keep in mind, this is a family show. Don't curse on my show, all right? You know, you curse too much, I'll get you out of here. Okay, it's a family show. I want to be respectful to everybody. You know, don't come on here just thinking you're going to, you know, do it up, okay? Because I'm going to get you out of here. You get a warning, I'm going to get you out of here, all right? If it's too egregious, I'm just going to get you out of here, all right? I understand we're all passionate. We love the team. Sometimes the team can take you there, but you need to, you know, reel it in and be respectful here, all right? So salutes to everybody. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming on by, checking out with your boy. I'm going to get on out of here. But listen, folks, be safe, okay? Be safe. This world is crazy, okay? There's a lot of crazy things going on right now, but I want y'all to be safe, all right? Sit down with your friends, your families, your loved ones, and eat good food, make some good memories, sit down, watch some TV, and enjoy yourselves, man. And I always tell people this, and it's why, listen, ensure that the people you love know that you love them. That is huge, okay? Let the people that you love know that you love them at all times, all right? So you folks have a good one. I'm going to get on up out of here. Enjoy your times. I'll see y'all Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern here. We'll